Hey guys, Keith from the Ashland Fly Shop here. What have you been up to? All right, screaming and yelling. You said you were gonna be home in 2 hours, or what was it, 2 days? You stayed on the river, you called her back, said I'm not coming home. Man, I know you're in trouble, so we're gonna give you a dish here this will get you out of the doghouse. We're gonna do a sun-dried tomato basil pesto. For those of you who are vegetarians, this is gonna be vegetarian. For those of you who are not, grill some chicken, throw it in there, you'll be fine too. Super simple. You only have to cook one thing. You just have to cook the pasta. Everything else, we're gonna show you how to do it real easy. Here we go. All right, so this is really, really simple. It's just a few things stuck in a blender. If this is a little Cuisinart kind of thing, I'm sure that you guys have a blender around your house, you're making margaritas, anything like that, that works too. That's typically how I do it, or did it till I had a Cuisinart in my hand. So here's how it is. All right, we're gonna take a bunch of basil. We've already washed all this, it's organic, so all you people are gonna complain that didn't do all that. Just start it up. I know we're gonna grind this stuff up pretty good, but just like that. Throw it in there. Take a tomato. Let's get rid of all these little ends. We don't want the rough stuff in there anyways. Oh, I lied to you, didn't I? I told you that you were gonna have to cook one thing. You're actually gonna have to cook two things in this, but it's pretty simple. Pine nuts. I've got this on medium right now. You don't really have to do this, but I think it just makes the flavors a little bit better, so I do it. About that much. And all we're doing is toasting these. We're not trying to make them black or anything. We're just trying to get the oils out. All right, that ought to do it. Be smart, don't be like me and have a hot pan in your hand and try and do this. There we go. Olive oil, good stuff. Use it, you'll like it. It's gonna take a bit of this to get this stuff to kind of go down. While I'm there, I'm gonna take a little bit of salt, get that going. Now, I'm gonna look at it, take my sun-dried tomatoes. You can use the ones from your garden, you can dry your own, you can do it just about any way you want. I happen to like these because they're already cut up into little pieces, so it grinds up a lot easier for me. And this, we're just gonna put the whole bag in there at this point. There we go, we're gonna grab our garlic. I'd say, depending on if you actually wanna get kissed tonight, go with about that much versus the whole clove. All right, smush our garlic down, peel it. I am gonna stick another tomato in there just for a little bit more moisture. Peels just want to keep getting in there, don't they? A little bit more olive oil because it's not going to kill you. And see what happens. I'm going to mix it up a little bit, get some of that on the bottom. Maybe even take a little bit of water. It's getting pretty thick. Oh, there we go. Now it's going to work. That's pretty good right there. See, look, nice and smooth. I know it doesn't look pretty right now, but it will once you mix it with everything else. Clean up your mess. It's good. All right, to the stove we go. All right, by now, I'm sure every one of you in the world has made pasta. You probably fed yourself on macaroni and cheese for the last 15 years. All we're gonna do is make pasta. Turn on the water. Oop, wrong one. Turn it on high to get it boiling. Get some salt in there. Take one of these, it's called the lid, set it right on there. Leave it. Now we're gonna go talk about bread. All right, so we're gonna make some bread. We're gonna do some little crostinis to go with this. We're gonna do that in the oven. So all you gotta do is you find your garlic. Don't need a lot of garlic for this. So one little thing is gonna be all we need. For this, we're just gonna chop it up real small. Okay. Set that aside for the moment. Butter's an important thing. You could use olive oil here too if you wanted, but I like the flavor of butter in this part of it. To the stove. We're just gonna turn it on medium. Let this melt down a little bit. And as it's melting, I'm just gonna get my garlic in there. Got our butter melted, we're gonna set it aside. Do not take the hot pan and set it on the countertop. You can also put this in something and melt it down in the microwave and stick the garlic in there, that works too. But don't set the hot pan down on your countertop, you will be in huge trouble. So, I'm gonna cut our bread. And I like to do it just a little, cross cut like this. All right, now this is super simple. Bread, dip it in the butter, put it on the pan. Dip it in the butter, get it good and coated. Set it on the pan. Get a little extra butter on those. Got some Italian seasoning. If you have oregano, just regular old oregano, that'll work too, but we happen to have some Italian seasoning, so we're gonna use that. Sprinkle this about. When we go to our boiling water, we're gonna set this in the oven real fast. I did not preheat the oven because I'm gonna do something a little tricky here. But let's go to this. Turn it down a little bit. Boiling water. So, pick out about as much as you guys want to eat. We're putting in more because we're feeding more people. So, let's get that back up to high. Now, pasta needs to be stirred, otherwise it sticks. So, give it a good stir so it's not sticking together. We're going to do this again. Now that we got that taken care of, let's look at this. Oven. We're gonna push broil. We're looking for broil on this one. Notice where I have the racks. I've got them all the way down at the bottom because if I put them on the top on the broiler, we're gonna burn that really fast. Sometimes I do this on the barbecue. Just throw some bread on the barbecue like that with the butter. It comes out really good. We'll flip it over on the barbecue. But today we're just gonna do it in the broiler in the oven because, well, we got an oven to use. Get in there. Something very important here that you need to see. We're going to end up straining this out because I'm going to use the pot again, but I'm going to steal a bunch of this water. This has got starch in it from the pasta. When we mix in the pesto, this is going to make it nice and creamy. I'm just going to set that aside. All right. This is done. I'm going to shut this off. So, get it all in there. The pesto. This is the fun part. We're going to take this little guy out of here. Just shake it off in there real quick. These are sharp. Don't get your fingers in there. Take a couple of good scoops of this. Mix it up. We're gonna probably use all this. If you made too much, it's really simple. Put it in a baggie in the freezer there. It'll last forever. Some people take and put it in ice cube trays. I happen to like a lot of Parmesan cheese. Use something a little bigger to get that down in there. I don't know if that kind of melt in a little bit. Come over here, grab that extra water. What this is going to do is it's going to make everything nice and silky. Put a little bit in, check it out after a minute. This has also got salt in it from the salt water, right? So we don't really have to salt anything at this point. Oh yeah, baby. Look at that. So you could do all kinds of things here. Me personally, like a little bowl. Grab it. Look at how creamy and yummy that is in there. That's it. Take a couple of those. If you were to have made some chicken, you could put some chicken on the side of that. Come back. A little bit of Parmesan, because who doesn't like Parmesan, right? So, and you could take a couple pieces of basil, set it on the plate. All right, so like I said, this was pretty painless. You can do this. This is easy. Vegetarians, I mean, come on. How simple was that? Just do it. Go fishing, but do it first. See you later.